Good morning. Hello. Hey, y'all. Kelly said she got a notification. That is wonderful. YouTube hates me, and I'm trying to get back in the algorithm. God, the algorithm. What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. I hope everybody's had a good start to their Thursday morning. Do you, Brittany? Sometimes, like, because I'm subscribed to myself on my other page, and sometimes I get the notifications, sometimes I don't. This morning, I didn't. So, I don't know. Oh, Laura, you're the best. I don't know what's up with it. I'm fucking over it. Hey, Roro. Good morning. I am so over it. The algorithm. And that's what Dolly says, the algorithm. Yay, that's good, Sassy. Hey. Hey, Forever Army. Oh, working but listening. Hey, babe. So, let's see. Yeah, y'all hit that like button for your girl or the dislike. I don't care. Just help me get back in the algorithm. Oh, hey, Trey. I've missed you. I have not had my vacation yet. We're not going until the first week of September. Hey, Wacky Tacky. Welcome in, babe. I know. Like filming, he says femin. Femin. Hey, Miss Fletcher. Hey, guys. And I don't know what animals I'm gonna get to snuggle in Aruba. I don't know if they've got animals you can snuggle there. Well, thanks for being here and listening, Wacky Tacky. Hey, Granny. I'm good. How are you? I'm glad to see you. I missed everybody when I took my week off. Lord. Good morning, KCG. Glad to see you. Audio or water. When he says water. All the cool kids are here. Yes, we are. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Oh, I do not. That's why we don't go to like SeaWorld. We don't do none of that, Stephanie. No, thank you. Have you? I'm sure you have since you're saying that, but the way they capture these dolphins is fucking terrible, man. Oh, it's awful. All right, so I'm trying to give some more time to come for people to come in. Hey, chicken snake. Oh, we don't like chicken snakes, aka rat snakes. You know what though? I have not had an issue with a chicken snake yet. Yet. My worst fear is snakes and death. And with one can possibly come another. So, no thank you. Yeah. Where there's like a journalist or something that like he hides in the caves in the where the waterfall comes down where they kind of swarm these dolphins into one area. Oh, it's terrible. I said knock on wood and you did, of course. The sweaty nipples, nice chicken snake. Nice. And your picture is D's nuts. Ha! Got him. Yes, make sure everybody wishes Steph B a happy birthday. Today is her birthday. I don't know if she's in here right now. I didn't see her, but I'm sure she'll catch this on replay. Well, she might not get to see it on replay because I'm going to have to clip it out because it gives me a copyright every time I play that. You better see it. All snakes are gross. Ugh. Oh, happy anniversary, chicken snake. It was half naked men, KCG. Granny said, "This is what I'm here for." Um, small wildflowers. Steph B is just so awesome and so loving and generous and always helping everybody in our little community out where she can. And I just really appreciate Steph B. And I hope that Steph has the best birthday ever today. And I love you. Good morning, Mama. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and start this stream. So, Leilani had court yesterday, the 17th. Yeah, the same day as the Oklahoma people and Queen. So that's how I tried to remember it. Like there was so much going on just yesterday. And I can't remember who it was. Somebody tagged me in this in Discord and asked me because I was so busy yesterday. I worked late and then I came home, went straight to streaming. I was so busy yesterday, I didn't get to catch up with the Leilani court. And I was so glad they posted it in there because I was able to watch it this morning and I was floored. I was floored. Oh, 16th. See, me and Deets were talking about it last night. We thought it was because when I was sent this, I was like, I'm pretty sure it was on the 17th. But Melissa Jade did a video or a live, I can't remember, that said it was on the 16th. But I could have swore it was on the 17th. Me and Deets were working it out in our brains last night. We thought it was yesterday. Okay, so it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. No, it is not, KCG. It is not too early for half naked men or men cloaked in preacher robes. Now, you know what? It is too early for men cloaked in preacher robes. I'll give you that. Hey, Mac, talking smack. Gang, gang. What's up, shawty? Hello. But anyways, I was listening to this morning and I was so grateful to whoever it was. I cannot remember, and there's no way I can go back and find it. I probably could. It takes some time to go back and find it. But thank you to whoever it was. For some reason, I feel like it was Silent Angel. So if it was, thank you, babe. Morning time is the best time for half naked men. So let's watch this because this bitch has some nerve.
You might remember he went missing in 2022, only for his body to be found a month later at a local landfill. Well, Leilani Simon was back in court Tuesday for a pivotal pretrial hearing.
Oh, true text. And I just said the other day, I need to make a girl one. So I got you, boo. Even on if it ain't your birthday, when I get it done, I will add it and I'll play it just for you.
Before we bring you those key moments, here's a little refresher on the case. Court TV anchor Julia Janae reports. Little Quinton Simon was just 20 months old when he was last seen in his home in Savannah, Georgia on October 5th, 2022. He lived with his mother, Leilani Simon, her boyfriend, Danny Youngkin, and his grandmother, Billy Joe Howell.
Good morning,
my boyfriend woke up, saw the child at 6 a.m. Mother woke up at some other time later.
All right, there's our silver fox, Chief Hadley.
And reported the child missing at 9:39. I believe the call came into 911.
Local police and FBI begin searching for Quinton that very day.
We have yet to locate little Quinton. We continue to investigate this incident. We got some assistance from the FBI. We got numerous interviews to conduct today, as well as downloading phones and things of that nature.
Leilani Simon tells police that Quinton's biological father, Henry Bubba Moss, took him, so authorities go to Bubba's home more than an hour away.
He was being questioned about where he was overnight, October 4th into October 5th, and proved to police satisfaction anyway that he had nothing to do with it.
Has there been any contact with Quinton's biological father?
We have had contact with him. He's not a suspect.
After a week of searching for little Quinton, the Chatham County Police confirms everyone's worst fear. Quinton is believed to be dead, and his mother, Leilani, is the primary suspect, but no charges or arrests are made.
What are you doing? What is going on here? Where's the FBI? Where's Secret Service? Somebody needs to find this baby and lock her up.
After that announcement, all eyes turn to Leilani. Protesters, podcasters, and YouTubers gather outside of her home day and night. Nearly 3 weeks after Quinton was reported missing, Leilani and her mother finally speak out in an interview with WTOC News.
And if something does come up that I am at fault, I will take myself to that police station.
Then, 47 days after Quinton vanished, law enforcement find remains of a human child in a local landfill, and they arrest Leilani Simon.
Our search teams at the waste management landfill found what they believed were human remains. This afternoon, the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia confirmed that they are, in fact, human remains. Additional
oh shit, he was doing everything to hold it together right now.
Testing, including a DNA analysis, is being conducted, and we have every reason to believe that this will confirm the remains are Quinton's.
That was Julia Janae reporting there. Now let's get you into Tuesday's important pretrial hearing. It all centered around a defense motion to suppress previous statements made by Leilani Simon. There was only one witness called to the stand. That's Detective Marion Lemons with the Chatham County Police Department. And in this portion, the detective describes her background knowledge of Leilani Simon.
Before we get into the particular facts surrounding the defendant's various statements in this case, I want to ask.
I love this judge. I really do. I don't know what it is about her. She's got a good aura, a good energy, a good vibe, whatever it is. I don't know. I really like her.
Ask you some background about some background.
Good morning, Deets. Good morning, Deets on the motherfucking streets. Should I go in the bathroom and start cussing in the mirror to see if I look cool?
Set the scene, okay?
In good morning,
the general time period in question, we say fall of 2022. Where was the defendant living?
No, we didn't see
that.
So
it is a address off of Buckle.
Let me take a second and welcome everybody coming in that I didn't see. Truth Seeker, Kate the Magnificent. Hey, baby. Like, Mama, do I have permission to go in the bathroom and start cussing myself out in the mirror to see if I look cool doing it? Can I record myself, see if I sound cool doing it? Only if you pound your fist too. Deets on the motherfucking streets. There we go. Now we got it. We got it now.
Road 535 Buckholter.
And is that in Chatham County?
It is.
Hey, bless Mama.
What area of town is it?
We refer to it as the west side of town. It's right off of Ogeechee Road.
Can you describe, just briefly, I'm not asking you to give like a full layout or floor plan, but can you?
I don't know. Look, I keep stopping it. Oh, what did the reporter have in her mouth? Why you say? Hold on, let's go back. I gotta see what.
That was Julia Janae reporting there. Now let's get you into Tuesday's important pretrial hearing. It all centered around
her teeth. I don't see anything.
Defense motion to suppress previous statements made by Leilani Simon. There was only one witness called to the stand. That's Detective Marion Lemons with the Chatham County Police Department. And in this portion, the detective describes her background knowledge of Leilani Simon.
I don't see anything in her mouth, Sassy.
Before we get into the particular facts surrounding the defendant's various statements in this case, I want to ask you some background about some background information that will help, I think, set the scene. Okay.
Okay.
In the general time period.
Oh, Sassy, are you talking about the court reporter person? What are they called? Stenographers? This? She's repeating everything they say into that little thing.
We'll say fall of 2022. Where was the defendant living?
So it is a address off of Buckhalter Road, 535 Buckhalter.
And is that in Chatham County?
It is.
Generally speaking, what area of town is it?
We refer to it as the west side of town. It's right off of Okeechee Road.
Can you describe, just briefly, I'm not asking you to give like a full layout or floor plan, but can you briefly describe the residence?
Yeah, it's a single family home, 2 stories with a fenced-in backyard.
And how many bedrooms does it have?
It has 4 bedrooms, but one of them is more been converted into a bedroom. It's probably a living room for.
Okay, but has been converted into a
Yes.
bedroom. Okay. And who, I don't know whether you said already, whose residence is that or was that at the time, I guess?
So it was owned by Billy Joe Howell and her husband Thomas.
And who are they in relation to the defendant?
Billy Joe is Leilani's biological mother.
And what about Thomas?
Her stepfather.
Okay. At the time period in question, who else? I think we were up to 3 people now. The defendant, her mother, Billy Joe, and her stepfather, Thomas Howell. Who else, if anyone, was living in that residence in that general time period, fall of 2022?
Yeah, so Mrs. Howell's other son, Paul Simon, lived there as well. He lived upstairs. And then Leilani's boyfriend at the time, Daniel Youngkin, and then her 3 children.
The defendant's 3 children?
Yes.
And who were they? Like, give the rundown of their names and ages.
So Zane is her oldest. He was 3 during the time of this incident. And then there's Quinton, who was about 20 months old. And then Sky, who was 5 months, I believe.
And Sky was the baby that had been born of the defendant's relationship with Daniel Youngkin?
Yes.
Her then boyfriend?
Yes.
The other 2 children were the products of previous relationships the defendant had had. Is that right? Okay. I think you mentioned that Paul slept in a bedroom upstairs.
Yes.
And that the defendant lived in a bedroom downstairs that appeared to be a converted living room or something like that.
Yes, that's where her, Daniel, and the 3 children lived.
Okay, so all 5.
Now, see, that confuses me, because if it's a 4-bedroom house with a living room converted into a bedroom, that makes it a 5-bedroom house with no living room, right? So, or maybe they turned one of the bedrooms into like a sitting room or something. I'm not sure, but there's only Billy Joe, her husband, that's 1 room. Paul, that's 1 room. Leilani, Danny, and the kids. And they said Leilani, you would think, okay, well, Leilani and Danny in 1 room, that's 3 rooms total. And then the kids in another room. So 4 rooms total. But they said that Leilani, Danny, and the kids all slept in the converted living room. So I don't know. Does it matter? Not really, but kinda, because you'll see why.
5 of them lived in that room?
Yes.
Okay. And did that room have any door that opened directly to the outside?
Yeah, the side where the children were, it led to the front door, which is an exterior door leading to the Buckhalter side of that.
So that's why it matters, because the front door to the house is, let me show y'all this. The front door to the house is in the room close to where Quinton and them slept. So hold on. I'll show y'all something. Because I remember a lot of us, we couldn't figure out where Leilani's room was. And we seen them doing the luminol testing. Let me see. I'm looking for the luminol photo. So this is the front door to the house. So this is the living room right here. Okay, let me see. There we go. Here we are. So, okay, hold on. Hold up, swolled up. I'm so confused on how that works. So there's that. Okay. So this picture is the side of the house. You see, because right here, it's from a different angle pointed at the house, at the front porch and the front door. And then this one is where if you were to walk around the corner right here. And that's where they were doing the luminol testing. Or they were doing luminol testing in several places. Let me look. No. Let me look right here. Because this looks like it's in a different spot. Hold on. Luminol testing. Oh, no, it's just a picture split in half. Okay, never mind. So that's just a little bit interesting. It's like, okay, so the room where they were doing the luminol is the living room, which was converted into Leilani and them's bedroom.
Is this the door that people in this family refer to as the front door?
It is.
They call it the front door, but it opens directly into their bedroom.
Yes.
And does that appear to be a consequence of the fact that this bedroom is a converted living room?
Mr. Hilliard. I object. I don't, as to the relevance. My understanding is we're here for a Jackson Zeno hearing. I don't really understand the reason for the biological history lesson.
Shut your ass up. Sit down, sucker.
Being given right here, but I don't see the relevance to what we're here for today.
Shadeen?
I do. I see all the relevance in the world. Even if I don't see it, I see it all.
Your Honor, we have a burden of establishing that all of the statements that the defendant gave were voluntary. For the court,
geographical residence doesn't do anything to establish.
If I may just finish my.
Well, I don't know. I think, Granny, that's why they were telling who was in what room, because the only other people in the house, that's okay. I could see Danny knowing something happened or waking up hearing something, because it's supposed that they all supposedly slept in that main room, the living room. But Paul, her brother, slept upstairs. And I think that's why they made sure to include that, was because there's no way he could know. But if Danny's sleeping in the same room, how could he not hear this going on? Yes, Leilani is wearing a freaking mask.
Response. It is going to be necessary for us to do a certain amount of scene setting for the court to understand what these statements were, what she was talking about, and the general investigative context in which they were made. If the defendant wants to stipulate that they were all voluntary, then certainly the inquiry would at that point probably become less searching. But we have a burden and we intend to carry it, not ask for a little latitude.
So let's listen to that again. I know it's hard to hear because the static sound in there.
Investigative context in which they were made. State of scene setting. It is going to be necessary for us to do a certain amount of scene setting for the court to understand what these statements were, what she was talking about, and the general investigative context in which they were made. If the defendant wants to stipulate that they were all voluntary, then certainly the inquiry would at that point probably become less searching. But we have a burden and we intend to carry it, not ask for a little latitude.
He said, we got a burden and we intend to carry it through. Yes, hunty. Yes, baby. So what she's trying to do is she's trying to get the interviews with her thrown out. And the state is trying to set the scene and trying to prove that she gave these interviews voluntarily. Nobody requested them. Nobody asked for them. Not until after she voluntarily gave her interviews.
Mr. Dean, I'm going to give you a little latitude.
Danny, baby daddy of Sky, the baby, the one that left that morning and said he's seen him. I personally, I don't know how I feel about Danny because he's been so quiet, which is probably good. I'm assuming the state is going to use him as a witness. So I'm glad he's been quiet and withdrawn, but I don't think he necessarily had any involvement in it, but I do think he probably knew.
Not overruling the objection. I am overruling the objection, but I want you to rein it in because I do understand the objection about where we are right now.
Now, let's go to the evening of October 4th / like the night of October 4th / morning of October 5th. Okay. Who was actually present in the home on that day?
So it was Paul Simon, Leilani Simon, Daniel Youngkin, and...
You have an objection, Your Honor, as to relevance. He's getting into his case in chief.
Hey, sucker, it's relevant as fuck.
He's had a motion hearing as to the voluntariness of certain statements.
If I may, Your Honor, this has nothing to do with the cameras. The court will remember that I've objected to every media request in this case. The very next thing that I'm going to get into is that it was the defendant who drew law enforcement to her residence by making a false report of a crime and representing this as a child abduction. Now that bears on voluntariness. It bears on the voluntariness of the statements that day and all the ones that followed, is that she brought the police attention on herself to misrepresent what she had done. This is really not very far. This is not far afield at all.
Mr. Hilliard.
Your Honor, that's called his conclusory statements as to what the evidence reflects. It doesn't have anything to do with the voluntariness of a statement. If Mr. Dean wants to sit here and say, she called into her house, she gave the statement, it was voluntary, that's fine. As far as the way he paints the evidence, though, that's better made in closing statements after a trial, and that's not what we're here for.
Mr. Dean.
Oh, shut it.
I tend to agree with the defense on this. Let's go.
And see, I like the judge, so I mean, I get what's like she's doing what's fair. But since I'm emotionally invested in this case, fuck fairness.
Straight
at least on the side of the defense. I'm sorry, no. I gotta stop.
To what the evidence is and proceed from there.
Oh boy, it looks to me like Leilani Simon is in big trouble. Let's bring in our guest and talk more about it. Criminal defense attorney Michael Riley on the program, and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Matthew Mangino. Great to see you both on this Wednesday. Oh my, okay, let's talk about how concerned Leilani Simon should be over the death of her young son, Quinton Simon. This is just a horrific case. It's sickening, really upsetting. I want to get your both.
Hey, Candy Kitten. Glad to see you, babe. Welcome back. Hello to all those coming in that I may have missed. Please make sure you hit the like or the dislike and get me in the algorithm. YouTube is angry at me since I took my week-long break. I need to be back in the algorithm.
Both of your, kind of general thoughts on this case before we get specific. Mike Riley, would you start us off, please?
Sure. Thanks so much, Julie. I think Leilani Simon should be very concerned. The investigation is focused on her since the very beginning. She's reached out to the police. She's made several statements. She's made several statements that contradict themselves. She's now charged in the gruesome murder of young Quinton Simon, and the state seems to have quite a bit of evidence against her.
Yeah, they sure do, Mike. Her statements are a big problem, aren't they? Matthew Mangino, your thoughts, please.
Yes, they are, girlfriend.
Well, yeah, she does have some serious problems with this case. Primarily, she voluntarily called the police and got the police involved in this and then spoke to them without an attorney. And certainly you're not going to get an attorney if you're portraying yourself as a victim here, the mother of a victim. So, but her continuing to talk with the police after the initial contact is problematic. And, what we're talking about here is a suppression motion. And what were any of these custodial interrogations, and that's the threshold. You have to be in custody and you have to be interrogated in order for a suppression motion to work. And that's what we're going to find out during the course of this hearing.
Exactly, Matthew. Thank you for that.
Fucked up, girl. Too late to take those admissions back now. Too late to take those words back, honey.
Was the cover-up worse than the crime? I mean, please don't misunderstand. We know that a child death, there's nothing worse. A baby being killed. And the allegation is that he was assaulted with an unknown object before little Quinton was dumped.
I wish he'd stop smiling. Y'all see him smiling down here? It's probably an awkward smile.
In a landfill. The cover-up that happened after the fact, to mislead police. Matthew, you touched on this, the making a false report. Mike Riley, do you think this almost makes it worse? Do you think these facts, the cover-up facts, might inflame this jury even more?
Absolutely, Julie. I think Leilani Simon only made things worse for herself by her efforts to cover things up.
Gang, bitches.
Going to the media, making reports that Quinton's biological father may have abducted the child. All of these different statements trying to take herself out of it and suggest that she had nothing to do with it and that she was just a victim. I think that her statements don't add up, and a jury's going to see these statements and think, wow, she really was trying to hide something. And that's what we call consciousness of guilt. It suggests that she had something to hide, that she did something.
Speaking of that, I actually am not the only one. Kate, can you drop Alex Erickson's channel? She covered it the other day, and Melissa Jade also covered it. So those are really the only ones I've seen talking about it. Make sure you check them out too.
Something wrong, and that's not going to bode well for her at trial.
Not at all. Mike Riley, Matthew Mangino, thank you both for the insight. Stand by kindly,
now they're going to show us the 911 call.
Prosecutors play the 911 call placed by baby Quinton's father the day that he went missing. We're going to hear this key piece of evidence together. And
wrong, girl. It was not baby Quinton's father. It was Leilani's baby daddy. That is not Quinton's daddy.
Includes a frantic Leilani Simon. That's next.
as a mom, I think that if this happened to me, knock on wood, I would hope that it wouldn't. I would come out and say something, can y'all help me find my kids? But you're not. You're going to Tabby and you're drinking and you're partying. Like, what are you doing? What is going on here? Where's the FBI? Where's Secret Service? Somebody needs to find this baby and lock her up. Lock them all up because the grandma had custody. So if the grandma has custody and she left her with them, she's just as at fault.
No. And skirt, hold up. You're wrong. She's not just as at fault. Does she hold some accountability in this? Absolutely. But is she just as much at fault as Leilani? No. Billy Joe, the grandmother of Quinton Simon, had it set up to where Quinton Simon was taken care of, not by his own mother, but by the babysitter. She had everything worked out prior to leaving town for work. I didn't either, Remy.
We're talking about.
I was testing my stream out earlier to see if it notified me. Some people came in and said it did notify them, and some people said it didn't. For me, it didn't notify me either. Thank you for being here, though.
Little baby Quinton Simon, and bringing you Tuesday's pretrial hearing for his mother in what we're calling the landfill murder case. So the attorneys for defendant Leilani Simon presented a motion to support.
They are fact-based channels. No theories, no conspiracies, no speculate. I mean, we all speculate a little bit, but no, they don't take part in spreading of rumors and harassing families. So they're really good. They're really good channels.
Suppress previous statements that she made. These were in the days and the weeks after her son's disappearance. She was interviewed numerous times by police, and at the heart of this case is the 911 call placed by her then boyfriend and little Quinton's father on the day.
And skirt, hold up, you're wrong again. Nope, it's not baby Quinton's father. I know, and like in the wide scheme of things, maybe that don't matter, but it does to me because you're going to have people running around saying Quinton's dad had something to do with it. Quinton's biological father was nowhere around. So it does make a difference to say if it's dad or just, I don't know, stepdad, I guess you could say. I don't know.
That he went missing. This is a moment that was played in open court.
Are y'all ready for this? I don't know if y'all are ready for this. This 911 call pissed me the fuck off. Let's keep it real. You noticed smiley. What's that mean? Huh? Oh, it's terrible acting. We talk about bad actors on here all the time, right? This is bad acting. Y'all ready for this 911 call? Here, we'll play it.
Let's watch.
How did the police initially become involved in the disappearance of Quinton?
What did she do? Has she been up to something else? Mom? I haven't watched her since before I went on my break. Has Smiley been up to some more fuck shit? Let me know.
So we received a 911 call on October 5th, and the call was made by Daniel Youngkin and Leilani Simon.
Okay. What time was that 911 call?
It was at 9:38.
And this was on the morning of October 5th, right?
It was.
And you said it was made by Daniel Youngkin and
I know, right, Granny?
Yes, they're both heard on the 911 call.
Okay. And what was the nature of the call?
It was mainly Daniel speaking, but basically he was saying that they could not find their 20-month-old son and that the front door was open.
And the defendant herself could be heard on court.
Oh my God. Is that what she meant? She probably did. Mama, you petty. Oh, good luck with that Southern gal.
Portions of that call as well. Is that right?
She can.
Okay. This has been introduced as State's Exhibit 1, Your Honor, and at this time I've asked to publish this to the court.
And you have tendered 1 through 32. Is there any objection to those exhibits coming in?
Not for limited purposes of this hearing, Judge, no.
She could have left them with someone else. She did leave them with someone else, the babysitter.
So I understand the court has to look at them, and hear them, and see them. But, so as far as this hearing, no, Your Honor, there's no objection.
It would be for the limited purpose of this hearing.
Right, of course.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Dean.
All right. May we now publish State's Exhibit 1?
Yes.
Y'all ready?
38:37 seconds, October 5, 2022.
What we're going to do is I'm going to let it play all the way through, and then we'll go back through and stop it and talk about it.
What was your emergency?
Yeah, I need to come 535 Buck Halter Road, we believe from kidnapped.
535 Buckhalter?
Yes.
Did you say someone's been kidnapped?
Yeah, we.
You have a 1-year-old son? Yes. When's the last time you seen him?
I saw him this morning when I left at 6.
Okay, have you guys gone outside to check the area?
Yes.
How old is he?
And he can't open the door.
So you think someone broke in and any time to break it in?
No. No breaking in, the door was open.
Was it unlocked?
Yeah, but the front door had bolts though, but yeah, it was.
Okay, give me a description on him. Give me a description.
He's, like,
Blue-green eyes, tan skin, dark hair. He's what, ma'am? You got tan skin, dark brown hair. His eyes are like a brown green hazel. Okay. And he's black, white, Hispanic. Hawaiian. He's what now? Hawaiian. Hawaiian? Yes.
You can stop. You can stop. I think we stopped the playback somewhere around.
What y'all think about that shit? Brown, green, hazel, Lord. I know, right? Yep, asleep in the playpen, just vanished. Just vanished. No, that's Danny calling 911. Danny's the one that called 911. Yeah, I'm going to replay it and because it is kind of hard to hear what she's saying, I'm going to try to help you guys hear it a little better.
Yeah. So I understand the court has to look at them, and hear them, and see them. But, so as far as this hearing, no, Your Honor, there's no objection.
It would be for the limited purpose of this hearing.
Right, of course.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Dean.
All right. May we now publish State's Exhibit 1?
Yes.
38:37 seconds, October 5, 2022. What was your emergency?
Yeah, I need to come 535 Buck Halter Road, we believe from kidnapped.
Okay, so that was Danny saying, I need you to come to 535 Buck Halter Road. We believe our son was kidnapped.
535 Buckhalter?
Yeah.
And that's Leilani in the background going, yes, please.
Been kidnapped?
I can't find my son. I can't find my 1-year-old son. I woke up and the front door was open. Something else. Hold on. Oh, I woke up and the front door was open and his playpen is empty. Please.
Your 1-year-old son?
Yes.
Time you seen him? I saw him this morning when I left at 6.
That's Danny telling them he's seen him this morning when he left at 6 to go to work. But really, he could have either still been there until after Danny left to go to work, and then Leilani took him and threw him in the dumpster. But if I'm not mistaken, she took him in the middle of the night, before Danny woke up. And if that's the case, then Danny might have thought, if Danny is completely clueless and knows nothing about it, Danny could have just seen the covers bundled up in the pack and play and just thought, that was him. I mean, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. You're getting your ass up to go to work. You look in, you see a bundled up, blanket. Yeah, you're going to probably think that it's just him sleeping.
Have you guys gone outside to check the area?
Have you guys went outside to check the area?
Yes.
Yes.
How old is he? And he can't open the door.
Danny said, and he can't open the door.
So you think someone broke in and they any time to break it in?
She said, so you think someone broke in? You think somebody broke in?
No. No break.
I can't tell what she's saying right here. Let me rewind it.
So you think someone broke in and they any time to break it in? No. No break.
I cannot find them nowhere.
And then the door was open.
Oh, he said no one's breaking in. The door was just open.
Was it unlocked? Yeah, but the front door had bolts though. But yeah.
Okay, hold up. Let's rewind that. Maybe that's not what he said. Let's listen again.
Think someone broke in and any time to break it in? No. No breaking in. The door was open.
No breaking in. The door was just open. But then he says something about it having bolts on it.
Was it unlocked? Yeah, but the front door had bolts though. But yeah, it was.
I think, yeah, it's got bolts, like deadbolts. But yeah, it was unlocked. Oh no, I can't find him nowhere. I've looked everywhere.
Door had bolts though, but yeah, it was.
No, I can't find him anywhere. I looked through the house everywhere.
Okay, give me a description on him. Give me a description. He's blue green eyes, fancy and dark.
Oh, right there she said blue green eyes.
Blue green eyes.
Oh wow. Why did she what?
Give me a description. He's blue green eyes.
She totally just said blue green eyes.
He has dark hair.
Dark hair.
What, ma'am? You got tan skin, dark brown hair.
Tan skin, dark brown hair.
His eyes are like a brown green hazel.
Now they've went from blue green to brown green hazel.
Okay. He's black, white, Hispanic. He's Hawaiian.
He's Hawaiian.
He's what now? Hawaiian.
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian. Yes.
You can stop.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
It smells like straight pure shit. Like for real.
Fuck you, Leilani. That fake ass cry. Oh my God. Let's play it some more.
I think we stopped the playback somewhere around 2 minutes in. Now, she could be heard on that call saying, I can't find my child, please. Right?
Yes.
So she, at least for that phone call, she wanted the police to come to her house.
Yes.
Sometime after that phone call, did patrol officers respond?
They did.
And did they make contact with the defendant?
Yes.
Where did they make contact with the defendant?
So on the right side of the house is the main driveway, which the family kind of uses as their front entrance area. So the family was waiting there.
Hey, Alex. Hey, baby. Yeah, she didn't know the baby's eye color. First she said blue-green, then she said brown-green hazel. And I kind of agree with that, Granny. I don't think he's just as guilty, but I do think he's culpable in it. This is just crazy. So you wonder if Danny was the one questioning where he was. It's possible, but I thought the they called the babysitter. So she calls Danny. He goes into work at 6. I think he had to be there at 6:30 or something like that. So she calls Danny, I think at like 8 o'clock, 8 something, tells him she can't find, maybe 9, tells him she can't find Quinton. He comes home. He leaves work and comes home. They then call the babysitter. The babysitter's like, what the fuck? No, Leilani, y'all told me y'all didn't need me today. He's not down here. And so then they called 911 because if I'm not mistaken, they thought the babysitter was going to call 911.
If we could please publish State's Exhibit 2. This is an excerpt from some body-worn camera footage of responding officers.
Okay, without objection, please proceed.
Okay, this is going to be kind of hard to understand too. I'll try to stop it where I can and explain it. This is from some body-worn camera of officers that responded. Oh, wrong lighter. Hold on. It's just sick, man, to know that she took that baby, first off, she brutally beat him, took him, drove him, and dropped him off down the road in the dumpster, came back home, cleaned the house, act like nothing ever happened. And then on the 911 call, you're in the background screaming, I give up, but fuck you. That was something about Danny went to work at like 6 o'clock. Let's see. I woke up around 9 o'clock. My boyfriend left about 6. Something about, sounds like she said something about a period. I don't know. But she wakes up and she finds the front doors open.
The 3-year-old son's there, the daughter's there. He can't get out of the place by himself.
A So this officer's saying, so your 3-year-old son's there, your daughter's there.
The 3-year-old son's there, the daughter's there.
And she's saying at the same time he's talking, she's saying, my 1-year-old son.
By himself.
And the officer says that 1-year-old cannot open this door by himself. So let's listen again.
The 3-year-old son's there, the daughter's there. He can't get out of the playpen by himself.
Oh, he can't get out of the playpen by himself. So this officer's calling her on her shit. Like, I mean, because supposedly they're all sleeping in the same room, right? So he's basically finding it hard to believe somebody came in and took that baby while they were all sleeping in the same room.
He cannot.
He said he cannot. He cannot.
Daughter's there. He can't get out of the playpen by himself. He cannot. He can't even open doors.
He cannot get out of the playpen by himself. He cannot. He cannot even open the doors.
Yeah, I left for work at 6 o'clock. She called me at 9 o'clock.
That was Danny saying, I left for work at 6 o'clock. She called me at 9 o'clock.
And the front door was open, like I said, he's gone.
And she said the front door's open and he's gone.
And
I can't find him. I looked everywhere.
she said about 2 weeks ago,
She's naming all the rooms in the house.
she told us that she's seen a car sitting out front about 2 weeks ago.
That's Danny. So is it Danny or the cop saying that about what? Hold up. I may be completely wrong in this. Maybe that's not the cop talking. Let's go back. I think it might be Danny talking about him not being able to crawl out of the playpen.
I have a period. Somehow the front door is unlocked. My son is not in his playpen.
The 3-year-old son's there, the daughter's there. He can't get out of the playpen by himself. He cannot. He can't even open doors. Yeah, I left for work at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that was Danny saying all that. Oh. I bet she was like, if you don't shut the fuck up.
She called me at 9 o'clock. And
yeah, that was Danny. Yeah. Oh, wow. Good for you, Danny. See, he's like, something's up here.
the front door was open, like I said, he's gone. And she said about 2 weeks ago, she told us that she's seen a car sitting out front.
So she told them about 2 weeks ago she's seen a car sitting out front. So now she's thrown in a whole nother element.
About 2 weeks ago.
You can stop it here.
Yeah.
So in this clip, we see that the defendant met the patrol officers in the driveway, right?
Yes,
Or she came to them.
yes.
And they hardly had to ask her any kind of question at all. She just started talking.
What'd you think of that call? What do you think of Leilani Simon? Stand by, my friends. We're going to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to see prosecutors introduce a series of recorded police interviews with the defendant after that frantic 911 call. After the break, she details the last time she saw her son, Quinton. We'll talk about it next.
What a garbage human. I can't fathom. Y'all make sure you hit that thumbs up for me.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. Let's get you back into Tuesday's big hearing in the landfill murder case.
Yep,
The victim,
Allie. Yep.
little toddler, Quinton Simon. Now, there was questioning of case detective Marion Lemons during this hearing. You're going to see her on the stand. And prosecutors, through her testimony, introduced a series of recorded interviews with defendant Leilani Simon, the child's mother. Now, this was conducted by a responding officer on the scene, and in the portion that we're about to watch together, Leilani Simon recalls the last time that she saw her 20-month-old son.
Hey, Robin.
At some point, did detectives show up?
They did.
And who were the first detectives on scene for the Chatham County Police Department?
It was Detective Wilkins and Detective Miller.
And did they interview some of the people that were on scene?
They did.
That's exactly right. A lot of kids, mine could come right over the crib and pack and play at that age. But Danny living there, like, he would know if Quinton was able to do that. That's true.
The defendant?
Yes.
Daniel Youngkin?
Good morning, Joe.
Also Paul Simon, the brother?
I believe so.
Okay. Was that interview recorded?
Yes, it was.
How was it recorded?
So I think part of it was captured on the patrol officer's body cameras, and then the rest was on a handheld audio recording device.
Now, those interviews.
If I'm not mistaken, Lisa, blunt force trauma, right? Isn't that what it was listed as, Alex? Blunt force trauma to the head. Like, they believe she beat him to death. They don't know what with, but they do think that she beat him to death.
I'll just note for the court are included.
Brain matter found.
Interviews included the Stacey
possibly on the pillowcase and the PJs.
In the exhibits.
So, Flo, you're so good to me. Thank you, baby. I love you. I love you. So, Flo, thank you. If you got gifted a membership by SoFlo, make sure to thank her. Welcome to new members.
Been admitted. Now, did they ask her, did she tell them when she had gone to bed and when she had woken up?
Yes.
Okay. Can we please publish State's Exhibit 3 starting at 2 minutes and 10 seconds in?
We don't know, Cammie.
Or thereabouts. Yeah, that's fine.
Phone number. All right. Where's your fiance? That's him? I'll be with you in just a second, sir. I'm just going to ask you a few questions once I'm done with her, okay? All right.
So this is a detective, I think, either a detective or officer talking to Leilani.
So when's the last time you saw your child?
When I went to bed last night.
And what time was that? Do you remember?
Around 12.
12?
The last time she seen him was last night when she went to bed around 12.
Okay. 12 when I went to bed. I had my wisdom teeth pulled yesterday.
I'm sorry. That's a...
She had her wisdom teeth pulled yesterday.
So I went to bed kind of late.
I get you. Listen, I had them too.
So I got up this morning about 9.
About 9?
And my front
She woke up this morning about 9.
door is open. So I went up and
Her front door was open.
I shut it, not thinking about anything like
So she went, got up, shut it, not thinking about anything.
that. And I look over and check on my kids and he was gone.
And she looked over to check on her kids and he was gone.
All the rest were there. He was gone. My kids and he was gone. All the rest were there. He was gone.
Oh, all the rest were there, but he was gone.
All right. It's all right. It's all right. Take some deep breaths. I'll start asking.
We stopped the playback at 2:57. So she spoke to Detective Wilkins willingly, right?
She did.
He didn't have to force anything out of her.
No.
And she told him that she had gone to bed at midnight. Is that
Yes.
right? Or around midnight?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, did officers on scene, well, let me ask you this. Did she have a car at this time?
She did.
What type of car?
It is a Dodge Journey.
At some point, did officers on scene become aware that that car had been out driving around at a period in the early morning hours of October 5th?
Right, bless
It was
mama.
after the time that she said she had gone to bed.
Yes.
Can you tell us how that played out?
So the initial officers, including the lieutenant, the time Lieutenant Foster, relayed information about what was going on at the scene, such as the vehicle's tag numbers. Those tag numbers were taken by one of the detectives, still at the office, Detective Robbins, and she ran them in the flock camera system and saw that the vehicles were moving beyond what Miss Leilani initially said.
Specifically the journey. Right?
Yes.
What is the flock camera system?
Yeah, it's I believe it's like a neighborhood camera system. It basically.
So right away from that interaction where the detective was talking with her, they took pictures and took note of the tags on the vehicles that belonged to them. And they ran them through, I guess, some kind of, I don't know what they called it, some kind of camera database. And it pulled up that Leilani was lying. She did not go to bed at 12 o'clock. She was actually out driving around. So they knew almost immediately that Leilani was lying.
Will take a photograph of a vehicle's license plate as it passes by the camera, and it's stored for law enforcement to later look at.
You can search it by tag?
We can.
Okay.
How cool is that? I didn't even know they had anything like that. It's almost like a fingerprint system for car tags. Who knew? Not me.
Now, once did that information get back to Foster that car had been out in the early morning hours of October 5th?
Yeah, at this point in time, I'm going to object again. We seem to be getting far.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Nobody wants to hear you. I know you're just trying to do your job, but we don't give a fuck. Shut up.
Afield from a voluntariness question here more to evidence they wish to submit a trial. So I don't really see the relevance of any of this.
I live about 2 hours. Are you talking to me, Turtle Gang? I live about 2 hours north of her.
Again, I'll just lodge the objection.
Mr. Dean.
Now, my very next question is going to be, did Lieutenant Foster go and talk to her about that?
Okay.
Did you ask her a question, and did she answer it?
Let's go there.
What does that look like? All of this bears directly on voluntariness.
Okay.
I love this judge.
I understand they're not trying to suppress that statement. I understand that. But the voluntariness of her statements that day, and it to contextualize what brought her into the police department and how she was receptive of police questioning. I do think it is important to look at what kicked this investigation off, that she was answering questions willingly on scene and had in fact brought the police to her.
Okay. So see, that's what they're trying to prove. Like, you don't get to have your interviews thrown out when you willingly called them, you willingly talked to them, you willingly interviewed with them. You don't get to go back now and say, no, I don't want my lies thrown out. Bitch. Because what they found was completely opposite of what she told them. So she's trying to get what she initially told them thrown out. Fuck that. And fuck you, ho.
Okay, Mr. Hilliard.
No, when it comes to questions of voluntariness, the questions of voluntariness are simple.
Listen, I'm tired of talking to you. I am tired of talking to you, Mr. Man. Sit down, shut the fuck up, and just, I can't stand defense attorneys. I know they're just doing their jobs, but it's like, and I'm sure it's hard to be a defense attorney because a lot of times you know that they're possibly guilty. I just don't get it. I don't.
It's a voluntary encounter between the police and the defendant. The context of that encounter is irrelevant. If the defendant is brought to that encounter in handcuffs or not free to leave, then it makes it a custodial encounter. Just that simple. We don't need to know what they had for lunch. We don't need to know whether or not their car worked.
Oh, yes, the fuck we do. Excuse me? We need to know every little detail about this bitch's movements because this bitch has lied from the get-go.
You don't need to know who.
I want to know what color socks she had on that night.
Who lived in the house. We just need to know the context of that particular encounter between police and the defendant.
Thank you. I'm going to sustain the objection.
All right. Boy, listening to this is taking me back to law school and criminal procedure class. I remember my professor saying it very succinctly. Custody plus interrogation equals the need for Miranda, right? You know the warnings pursuant to Miranda versus Arizona, custody plus interrogation. You got to have those two things in order to trigger those warnings that are necessary. Let's talk a little bit more about what is needed, a knowing, intelligent, involuntary statement. What do we need in order to get that, to have the admissibility here? We have two great guests to talk about it with us. They both are practicing criminal defense attorneys in the private.
And not to mention, Remy, she is a criminal. She knows that she can ask for an attorney. She ain't new to being, dealing with bullshit, getting caught and going to jail. She's my brain can't wrap around it, man.
Private sector. We have attorney Michael Riley joining us and attorney Matthew Mangino, who also previously served as a district attorney in
Hit the like for your hostess with the mostest.
Pennsylvania. Great to see you both this morning. Okay, Matthew Mangino, I'd love to start with you, please. Kind of take us back to law school. Some of the things we're thinking about here as we analyze what Leilani Simon said and whether or not the court can consider it.
Well, Julie, you being a former prosecutor yourself, you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, what we're talking about here when we're dealing with issues of suppression of.
I didn't even catch that. Is that his name? Did she say that? I don't want to rewind. Did she say his name was Manjana? No. Stop it. Fuck. We'll rewind.
Okay, Matthew Mangino, I'd love to start.
Mangino. Amen. Always talking smack, baby.
Start with you, please. Kind of take us back to law school. Some of the things we're thinking about here as we analyze what Leilani Simon said and whether or not the court can consider it.
Well, Julie, you being a former prosecutor yourself, you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, what we're talking about here when we're dealing with issues of suppression of statements was the statement.
Well, she should have did that then. Fact is, you didn't.
Free involuntary. Was the statement made during a custodial interrogation? And a custodial interrogation is one in which the defendant is not free to leave and is being interrogated, being asked potentially incriminating questions. So how do you determine if an interrogation is custodial? Was the defendant brought to the police station in a police car? Was the defendant
Leslie.
or the suspect handcuffed? Were they not free to leave? Were they questioned by somebody wearing a police uniform with a badge and a gun? If it is that type of situation, then the police are responsible for giving those well-known Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. You have the right to, not to be interrogated without your attorney being present. And if that situation exists, that custodial interrogation exists, it's required that defendant be Mirandized. If she isn't, those statements are subject to suppression.
Matthew, thank you kindly for that. Boy, excellent explanation right there.
Absolutely.
And so now let's take it a step further.
Here,
Michael Riley, so knowing all of that, we've got the premise, we know what the law provides here. Do you think the defense team has a leg to stand on here in possibly getting some of this thrown out and not coming before the jury at the time Leilani Simon goes to trial?
It is, Steph. It is. Gang, gang. Bunch of 12-year-olds.
Thanks, Julie. I do not think that they have a leg to stand on. We're looking at this Miranda inquiry. Was it a custodial interrogation? I agree with everything that's been said so far. There's also this question about voluntariness. Was this a voluntarily made statement by Leilani Simon? And as the prosecutor's pointing out in court, she calls the police. She essentially draws them in, brings them to her house, and gives them the story. And part of that story is that she went to bed at midnight, and they can show that she's lying about that because there's evidence to show that she was driving around after she told the police she was in bed. So I think that it's very clear that this statement was voluntarily made. And in fact, it sounds like it was made in an effort to cover up her involvement in the death of her son.
It sure was. And that was before you were taken in for your interview. That was just you talking shit.
Exactly, Mike. False statements. You know, she's got a real problem if the statements are coming in and if they're untrue. Very problematic, as you both know, for her as she heads to trial. May little Quinton Simon get justice? Mike Riley, Matthew Mangino, thank you both. Stand by, please. We're going to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to see the case detective outlining Leilani Simon's demeanor during those interviews after the disappearance of her baby. Her child. She's murdering her little baby, Quinton Simon. And there was a big pretrial hearing on Tuesday. In the portion of the hearing you're about to see next, prosecutors presented another recorded police interview with Leilani Simon after her 20-month-old baby was reported missing.
Now, all throughout this, first interview, the second interview, talking to her about doing this written statement, what sort of tone are y'all taking?
Very casual. At this point, we're just collecting as much information as possible, relaying it to every party that needs to know.
Was it at all accusatory?
Not at this point.
Was anybody raising voices or anything like that?
No.
The written statement itself is included at State's Exhibit 12. Now, after the three written statements were done,
that's so true, Tammy. It's when she realized no one bought her bullshit, she wants it thrown out now. No, girlfriend, that shit don't happen. That ain't allowed.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. Miss us with it.
The statement itself is included at State's Exhibit 12. Now, after the three written statements were done, what did you all as the investigative team do with them?
So we all reviewed them as a team and spoke with some experts that the FBI had access to kind of discuss the next steps.
You were
only if they catch you in a lie. When she gave them her statement, when they first came out there, she lied to them. So when they left from there, they took pictures of the tags. I don't know if you were in here, NJ. They took pictures of the tags of the cars that belonged to them, put them in a database that scanned for them, and it found them on camera in the middle of the night at that dumpster. That was her getting caught in a lie. So, yeah, absolutely. If you lie, fuck around, find out.
Comparing them to each other.
Yes.
And I suppose with what the writer had actually said in interviews to that point.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a hearing, Lisa. It has the trial hasn't started yet, babe.
And while you were doing that, she was in the interview room with Officer Carlson, right?
I believe so.
And at some point when she was in there, she sort of opened up to Officer Carlson about some of her mental health issues. Is that right?
Yes.
And this was information that she essentially volunteered, correct?
It is.
And I won't.
And they're not lying because it was taped. It was recorded. So they're saying she voluntarily was given this information. That means that they have it on recording that she wasn't asked about this. She wasn't approached about certain things. She was just in there just running her fucking mouth, just talking.
Yeah, I suppose because of some of the objections that have been raised at this point,
Oh, thank you, Turtle Gang. Make sure you thank Turtle Gang if you received a membership. And welcome to the new hippies. Welcome. Thank you, Turtle Gang.
I won't publish that part. But let me just ask you this. It starts with her saying to Carlson.
Hey, Blue Bunker.
Something like, this whole thing will be easier if they come back in so I have someone to talk to.
Yes.
Something along those lines.
Yes.
And if you watch that, if the court watches it, the court will see that she would rather talk to you all than not.
Yes.
That's sort of the sense that you
Wow.
get.
It is.
So he's saying she basically said to one of them, like, it would be much easier if they would come back. If they would come back in. Let's hear that again.
And if you watch that, if the court watches it,
yes.
This whole thing will be easier if they come back in. So it starts with her saying to Carlson.
She's saying this to the detective still in there with her.
Something like, this whole thing will be easier if they come back in so I have someone to talk to.
Yes.
Something along those lines.
Yes.
Wow. And you're trying to get this shit thrown out? Girl. Miss us with it.
And if you watch that, if the court watches it, the court will see that she would rather talk to you all than not.
Yes.
That's sort of the sense that you get from that utterance.
It is.
Sometime shortly thereafter, she got a visit from Danny in the interview. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. If we could please publish State's Exhibit 14.
Okay, so the last one was?
State's Exhibit 13, I have in the exhibit list as disclosure to Officer Samantha Carlson with the time at which that occurred.
Okay, so we're moving now to 14. Okay, you may proceed.
Hey, Bridget.
Yeah, cheeseburger.
All right, let's listen.
Whatever you comfortable with.
Pay close attention. It's hard to hear.
Yeah, cheeseburger. Whatever you comfortable with.
That was Paul telling her at the beginning that she has food on the way?
I believe so.
Okay, good.
It's starting up right now.
I know.
It's still on my phone.
I know.
All right, you can stop the playback at 46 seconds into that file.
I can't translate anything she was saying. I wish I could. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
he's gonna tell us though.
Not being held incommunicado or anything like that, right?
No.
Paul's talking to her from the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Danny's coming in to see her.
No, this part was when her and her mama and Danny went in for their interviews. This is that part.
Talk about how you took her out for a cigarette.
Yes.
And sometime shortly after that visit from Danny, she showed herself out for a cigarette.
She does.
Right? And asked Officer Carlson if she wanted to come with her or something along those lines.
Yes.
If we could publish State's Exhibit 15, please.
Okay, please proceed.
Do you have a jacket on you?
No.
I was talking about for you, really. So you maybe step out there with me while I smoke my cigarette. Is that freezing down there? It feels like somebody's.
So she wants to.
She was, Rachel. She left for a little bit. She said she might be back in a little bit.
Leave, she can leave, and she seems to know that. So she wants to leave, she can leave, and she seems to know that.
Yes.
Sometime after that, you and Snyder interviewed her again in what I'm calling at State's Exhibit 16.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Steph. I appreciate that. Stonefly Blue. It's your birthday, girl. Stop gifting me. And I'm going to play. I played your birthday little thing at the beginning. You know, go shawty. It's your birthday. I don't want to play it again until I'm done with this. I don't want to put that in the middle. But thank you, baby. I appreciate it. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Make sure you thank Steph if you got that.
CCPD interview 3, right?
Yes,
And about how long was this one?
about an hour.
What were y'all talking to her about this time?
So at this point, we had confirmation that the child's father was at work during the time frame that we had. At this point, we wanted to have more conversations about this timeline and what could have happened.
Okay.
This is disgusting, isn't it? I mean, this case.
Oh, tell them, girl. Yes, it is disgusting. It is.
This is just incensed so many people who were invested in bringing little Quinton Simon home when we heard of the disappearance. And then we later find out from police the little baby was put in a dumpster and then wound up in a landfill. And now his mom is going to be on trial for his murder very soon. Let's talk a little bit about these facts going before a jury and just how inflamed the members of the jury might be hearing all of this. Let's bring back in our guests, attorneys Matthew Mangino and Michael Riley on the program this morning. Matthew, let me go to you first here. Your thoughts on that, please.
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole scenario, obviously, it's a tragic death, a 20-month-old child. But these statements that are inconsistent that were made immediately after, which are indicative of a cover-up, which in itself is indicative of consciousness of guilt. These facts are going to be are going to weigh heavy on this jury and have a real impact on it.
Most definitely, Matthew. And then I'm wondering, might we see Leilani Simon try to get some kind of a plea deal from the state? Michael Riley, I'd love to ask you about that, please. Your thoughts?
I certainly think she should explore a plea deal, Julie. I think that these facts are really, really bad. Quinton was in a dumpster and then taken to a landfill. His remains found. These are ugly, ugly facts. And I think she should certainly explore the opportunity to take a deal and maybe have some hope of getting out of jail at some point in her life.
I think that would be great advice. I'm with you, Michael. Thank you for that.
All right, I put up a poll. Make sure y'all go vote on it. And while y'all are voting on it, that pretty much concludes the hearing yesterday for Leilani Simon, piece of shit mom, demon. I mean, just like the audacity. You was singing like a little canary and now you want that shit thrown out? Nah. Miss us with it. So let's do this. Let's stop screen on this one. And let's play Steph Be Her Birthday song. Everybody wish Steph a happy birthday.
Go, 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 go,
go, go,
go, shawty. It's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give a fuck 'cause that's your birthday.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday, baby. We love you. Okay, so next is y'all make sure to vote on that poll because I want to know what y'all think. Do y'all think that they are going to throw out the interviews and the 911 call like she wants, or are y'all saying fuck no, they gonna keep it? Let me know. All right, let's see. So the next thing I want to go over is I don't really know who this is. Let's see. I just came across her, honestly, while I was getting ready for this stream. I came across her. Her name's True Crime Psychic, And I heard something she said and it kind of just threw me off. Bella, go on. Stop. Hold on. Bella. Let's see what this is about. Oh, no, hold on. This is not the right one. Hold on.
Again, I'm buried in the YouTube shadow bank. So I appreciate you guys all for liking and subscribing. There's so many comments that I haven't gotten to. I tried to get to so many of you guys, but I was exhausted. I'm gonna try some more later today, tomorrow. Thank you guys. I'm outside. I know there was like some complaints about my fire detector going off. I have a huge, well, not a huge house, a good size townhome with a lot of fire detectors, and one is going off in my room. Put another one in. Talk about we're gonna Dana from Tennessee. Hi, Sonia. In my opinion, I believe you guys for being here. Hey, Dana from Tennessee. Hi, Sonia. In my opinion, I believe the mom and stepdad did it, right? I definitely saw the mom was being involved, and the stepdad, yeah, they know what happened. And I saw the mom hands-on as well, and the stepdad may have been as well. Good morning, everyone. What's up?
That's a hardcore accusation, girl. Mm-mm. Did your spirit guides lead you there? Mm-mm. This is pertaining to Sebastian Rogers. This is, I don't know, she just showed up when I was setting my stream up today. And I was like, who is this? Because I heard a few things she was saying. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. So we might have another bad actor on our hands. Again, her name is, let's see, True Crime with the Psychic Goddess.
We're gonna get you from the shadows to the light where you belong. All right, thank you guys for being here. All right, so we had an update. I'm gonna pull that up. Give me 1 second. If you guys have been following me, you know I said that I felt he would be found. Well, it was almost, I felt almost for certain he would be found in the month of April, and it looked like it would be in Aries season. All yesterday, it looked like he would be found by today. It was like yesterday or today. I didn't want to say that, even though in my past readings, I would be able to pick.
Now, what she is talking about is because there was a body found somewhere between, I don't know the details because I knew it was bullshit. Immediately I found out that it was not Sebastian. There was a body found. It was a grown man in a river or something. And look at her title. It says breaking news. Sebastian Rogers found? No, ma'am. So now she's trying to say, you know, I've been feeling like he was going to be found yesterday or today. No, bitch. You know shit.
Pick up the exact day. Like I was able to pick up the exact day for Brian Laundry. But even I sometimes am nervous to call an exact day because it's like,
oh, is it not working? Oh no, hold on. Yeah, my chat's not working. Let me refresh this. Hold on. Oh, it's not working. I wonder why. Let me end that one and I'll start another one. Oh, Jeanette, thanks for renewing, babe. Start a poll. All right, let's see. Let's see if it's working this time. Let me know.
Oh, I'm still human, and it's eventually, you're gonna be wrong. Probably, but so I'm even nervous to call a date. But I kept looking at it yesterday, and I'm like, it looks like it's gonna be today or tomorrow. That.
Oh my God, Kate! It's been a year. Gang, gang. I love you, baby.
We're at least gonna get word that something's gonna happen. I kept seeing that yesterday over and over, and then I got a text from Lori. Let me see what my text says. A lot of you guys know Lori Shortleg. She's in a lot of the true crime communities. She's a mod here, I think.
Lori. God damn it, Lori. You out here spreading that rumor without checking and waiting. Even if you couldn't check in the moment, you should have waited to see what the reports came out saying, if it was Sebastian or not. So you are the one, because I seen Dolly debunking that shit. Now say what you will about Dolly, but he did put out the other day, the other day, that it was not true, that it was not Sebastian. Lori.
I modded her, and she was modded over at she's also a mod over at Dolly Vision and a lot of other
love
sites.
you, Becca.
So she
Thank
messaged
you
me
for
saying,
rejoining, babe.
I don't know. She sent me a lot of messages, but basically she wanted me to call over at Dolly Vision. He was looking for a legit psychic to call in on the lines, but I saw her message a little bit late, like 20 minutes after she sent it, and I'm like, by that time I don't know, it was a little bit later in the.
So she's saying that Dolly wanted a legit psychic to call in. Dolly, what are you doing? Damn, goddamn, I just gave you props for correcting that rumor. Now I'm finding out that you wanted a psychic to call in and tell you. Do I believe in psychics? Some. I do believe in some of it, but most of it, no.
The live, and I didn't want to interrupt whatever he moved on to. But let me pull up what I have. Give me 1 second.
Kathy said, no, he did not. So is that Lori just telling this woman that so that she would call in? What the fuck? What is going on here? Okay, Jeanette said, okay, so now Kathy and Jeanette said that did not happen. Lori Shortlegs, I'm going to need you to stop going around. Oh my God. You have been busted. You are part of the problem. You are part of the problem. I mean, I don't like to call subs out when they haven't done anything to me personally, but Lori, this is irresponsible as fuck.
And I believe Aries season, I thought it was done April 17th, but I think it's April 19th, which is tomorrow. So we're still.
Okay, now Turtle Gang says that he did mention it last night, but he was joking with PJ about bringing on a psychic. Wow, Lori, do better, girl.
Still in Aries season? All right, so the Uvalde Foundation, I hope I'm saying it right, says our foundation today.
No, Lori is not on screen. Lori Shortlegs sent this woman, True Crime with the Psychic Goddess, a message and told her that Dolly wanted a legit psychic to call in.
Has literally been contacted by hundreds of individuals via messages and emails concerning Sebastian Rogers. Our efforts to locate him and our recent release of in this regard, while we are not law enforcement or associated with their investigations, our stance as an advocacy group on potential culpability remains and the foundation's work focused on finding Sebastian continues. Unfortunately, we cannot provide any further details at this time, so as not to compromise law enforcement. And now, in addition,
I'm sorry, I forget that people that haven't been like, because I started out with watching Dolly, so I've known who Lori Shortlegs is since I started watching Dolly, because she just she would just throw money, you know. So, and she was a little wild with her theories when he would do the panels. So I knew who Lori was. I forget not everybody comes from that. I'm so sorry. Lori Shortlegs is or I don't know about now, but she used to be a huge supporter of Dolly. I'm sure she's still a supporter, but she used to be a really big supporter of Dolly.
No private progressing investigation. Details aside, we are attempting to respond as promptly as possible to individual emails outside of any law enforcement or direct officials associated with this case. We will not entertain inquiries from private investigators nor conspiracy theorists. The serious focus is locating this young man. We are confident the answers will be provided in the near future. All right, so that's what they have. Let's see what else they wrote on him. All right. The Uvalde Foundation for Kids, Sebastian Rogers, and the Uvalde Foundation for Kids, Sebastian Rogers, stinky. So I guess they're also saying that the proud their feet are stinky. All right, they're saying something's up here.
My God. Jesus, take the wheel. Right damn now. Right now.
Let's see what else. But I saw where they called off their search. That's what I agree, Chris. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't see the post right now, but I saw it earlier where they called off the search for Sebastian Rogers, which would have meant, did law enforcement, get a lead? Did they find his body? That's the question. Or, sorry, find out what's going on with Sebastian. Let's see.
Granny, this is just a woman that I stumbled upon on my feed this morning. She's a psychic goddess, and she thinks that, she's seen in her head. It doesn't matter if you think they're guilty or not, the parents, but she's seen in her head, she's seen Katie actually have hands on Sebastian, and Katie and Chris are 100% guilty. She's seen that they both did something to him, and that either today or yesterday he would be found. And she's basing that off of the rumor about a body being found. I mean, it's not a rumor, a body was found, but people automatically jumped and assumed it was Sebastian, and it wasn't.
All right, we are attempting to respond.
Yeah. Psychic goddess. That's what she is.
All right. Give me 1 second to get something else up here for you guys. I think Betty Bullhorn also reported on that.
Betty Bullhorn.
Give me 1 second.
Betty Bullhorn. How you a psychic and you can't even get her name right? Girl. You couldn't see it in your head as you said it? Before you said it? I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
All right, here we go. I gotta get the volume up. I'm sorry.
I'm just getting to the airport.
Look, she don't have notifications on for Betty Bullhorn.
back to Florida, and I'm starting to see some stuff trickling in. And this one right here is from the Uvalde Foundation for Kids. We've discussed them in the past, and they're saying that due to developments in the last several hours, the Uvalde Foundation has ended its search efforts for Sebastian Rogers.
Yeah, somebody call Vision Dolly and tell him that this lady is not legit.
Don't know quite what that means this morning. I really don't. Does this mean that Sebastian Rogers has been found? Do they know where he's at? Do they now have more information that'll lead to his whereabouts and other things like that? I'm unsure. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you. Sebastian Rogers, the 15-year-old boy, the autistic boy that disappeared from Hendersonville, Tennessee. We're getting some new information in here from the Uvalde Foundation for Kids. Again, they're now ending their particular search into this matter for, into this matter for Sebastian Rogers. So I don't know what's going to be going on from that. But this is, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm praying to God this is some new and good information, but I really don't know what they mean. Again, for all the people that are just coming in, this is related to Sebastian Rogers, the 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from his home. Many people have speculated his mom and stepfather may have something to do with it. I'm on that same vein. However, the Uvalde Foundation, we know that they got in, they had released a statement a few days ago, and now they're releasing this statement that they're no longer going to be assisting in the search efforts due to some developments in the case. Hopefully we'll find out what those developments are. I tried to search, since it's been 3 hours, I tried to search Twitter just to see if anybody had any additional information, and everybody just seems to still be talking about this post from the Uvalde Foundation for Kids. So I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know what information they have, the several hours ago, but it sounds like it could be major. We'll just, be able to, I don't know when I'm going to be able to tell you because my plane is running an hour late. We're not boarding until like 8 instead of 7. And that pushes me back to my house about, I don't know, noon, 1 o'clock this afternoon. So I'm not even going to be able to update you guys on these developments until I get back to the house. I'm going to be in the air. So again, for all those that are just coming in, Sebastian Rogers, 15-year-old autistic boy, went missing. There's been some developments according to the Uvalde Foundation. So that's all the information I have at this point. I will tell you O'Hare Airport, but I don't want to blame the whole airport for ready to take. It looks like all the
.com. Katie Proudfoot. Find the interview with
I get Goddess. Tell us what you see, my love.
That I saw with Katie Proudfoot yesterday or a couple days back that she recently did. She looks slimmer than a I don't know. She looks slimmer than a Snicker. She's losing all this weight over here overnight.
I know a lot of people think it's because she's like working out and going and getting her hair did and doing her skincare routine. And she's probably just grieving. She's probably lost weight. She's probably lost weight due to stress, anxiety. All of us women know that can happen.
Like I said, we both needed to take that journey. She beat me to it.
Granny said, "Thank you for her membership, whoever gave it to her."
All right, let me see. I think somebody has to interview. All right, so like I said, it looks like they called off the efforts, and it would be a reason that they called off the effort. So I think we're gaining some ground here, and we should be able to see why within the next couple of days. I think news is going to.
Who's we? Who's we, girlfriend? Oh, God dang. We got another we. We got another we, us. We got it all.
To break. If anybody has any questions, feel free to throw it in the chat. And they really find him. Rachel, no. Did they? Everything hasn't been released, whether or not they did, but I think we're getting closer to finding that out. It hasn't been released to the public. Law enforcement, they're still keeping stuff to themselves. I don't feel like Seth even has that information yet. Either he's been found or they have conclusive evidence that there is or was foul play. Tammy said it exactly. Just like I think.
Oh, look at you, Tammy Lou's Front Street.
My last live, I stated that information may come out from Katie. However, they would have gotten that from her, possibly. And I think if they got information from Katie, it would have her back would have had it been against the wall, in order to have gotten that information from her. All right. So according to Psychic Goddess, I mean, I don't know how much more she goes on to tell us, but according to her, any day now. And maybe it's true. Maybe that's, it's very possible. I hope for any day now for them to have answers or for Sebastian to be located. I would love that. Oh, poor Seth. I cannot imagine what he's going through. Exactly. If anybody wants to come up on the panel, just let me know. They do have new info and have changed the case to a Really, Dana? I didn't know that. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Oh my God. She didn't know that? And it's not a criminal investigation. Well, it kind of is, kind of isn't. They're doing the internal investigation now. She just said she didn't know that. Oh, she didn't know that. I said no. She said she didn't know that, girl. Where you been?
Really, Dana? I didn't know that. Thank you for that information. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm up here. Sebastian has changed it for everybody. You see, I barely go live. Things are going to break. They are going to start cracking. I really come live. A lot of times when I do come live, it's when something's about to happen in a case, coincidentally. And what was pushing.
Y'all heard it here. It's not law enforcement, press conferences, none of that. It's the Uvalde team saying that they don't want to assist in the search because they feel like Katie knows more than she's saying.
Me to go live when I came live in this is I kept seeing that something's going to happen really soon.
I thought, but you said something was going to happen yesterday or today, that he would be found yesterday or today. Now that neither has happened so far, it's going to be really soon. Okay, girl, I see you.
In the past, it's been coincidence that like 2 days before I would come live, something would happen. Like with Audrey Cunningham, I said in my reading, I said, I feel like she has something tied to her. I don't remember if I said she was in a ward. I think I did. You would have to read my past. You would have to look at my past reading on her under my accuracy playlist. But I felt something was tied to her. And
yeah, it wouldn't be the fact that they were last seen by the dam at the water. No, it wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be that.
The next day she was found within less than 24 hours, and she had the rock tied to her. I think Brian Laundrie also was found within days.
Me too, Leslie.
Every time I do a reading, somebody's found within days. Summer, she was never found, and I never said she would be found. With Sebastian, it was different from Summer. I always said she would be found. Also, I have...
Look, you're confusing yourself. You just said that you never said Summer would be found. But with Sebastian, yeah, I always said she would be found. You mean he? Stupid.
Neurological condition where I have to take these meds, Topamax, and it makes me feel like I don't even want to come on.
Actually, no, Granny.
I feel a bit kind of withdrawn.
No logic at all. I mean, the whole situation with Audrey Cunningham didn't happen around water. Are you kidding?
As well, and it makes me feel a little kind of clammy, which is unlike my personality. I have the personality like Dolly says, he's really talkative. That's my personality. I can talk for days and go on for days, but these meds I need to get off because they got me feeling clammy. So for me to come on, like, it's really all about Sebastian. I think he has touched a lot of our hearts to kind of push us out of our boundaries. So even in this energy, I'm like trying to push through for him. Right.
What this is she sees how many views, clicks, money is earned off Sebastian's name, and this is what I'm gonna show you. So let's go back. We know what her ideas are, okay? But let's go here. And I want to go down here to Audrey Cunningham. And everything before Audrey Cunningham. Her most, let's see, Audrey Cunningham, she had 146 views here. 46, 50. I think 146 may be the highest views she's had. It is, at least in the last couple of months. Okay. So we go here. Audrey Cunningham, 46. Audrey Cunningham. No, this is just a regular live. 50 views. A regular live, 143 views. Boom. Sebastian. 867 views. Now this one's still kind of low. 234. That's a regular live right there with 75. Where is Sebastian? 1.1, 1.9, 2.9, 5.7 regular lives. So her regular lives where she doesn't have Sebastian in the title are under 100 views. Baby, I love you. I'm almost done. But the ones with Sebastian in the title, 8.4. It just keeps going up. It keeps going up. What are you doing this for, girl? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So anyways, what I'm going to do is, oh, thank you, Teresa. I'm going to listen to a few of her streams about Sebastian today as I go throughout my day. And if I find something I want to go over, then that's what we'll do. I don't think she's a monetized channel. I don't know. How can you tell if she's monetized? Let's see. I don't know if she is or not. I know she's got her Cash App on the screen through the live. So I don't know. That's still kind of monetizing without monetizing. But I am going to check her out and see what's up. And then the last thing we're going to go over is JLR did a live about Paul Grice. Okay. Paul Grice is the 5th person mentioned in the affidavit for the 2 missing Kansas moms, Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly. Veronica Butler was in a custody battle with the kid's father's mother. So the grandmother, the paternal grandmother of her kids, she was in a custody battle with her. Her name is Tiffany Adams. Tiffany Adams didn't want the kids taken away. Veronica was more than likely about to get unsupervised visits. So for over a month and a half, Tiffany Adams planned taking Veronica Butler out, unaliving her. And she had her boyfriend, Tad Cullum, and her 2 friends, who are also a couple, husband and wife, Cole and Cora Twombly. In the affidavit, Cora Twombly's daughter, 16-year-old daughter, is the one that gave police the information they needed to find what they needed to find, to find the women as well. And they were unalived and buried on the property. So Cora's daughter, the one that told police what they needed, also mentioned a 5th name alongside the 2 couples. The 5th name was Paul Grice. We don't know anything about Paul Grice. And then it's like, well, why did Paul Grice not get arrested as well? Because supposedly in the affidavit, Cora's daughter told law enforcement that Cora told her that her and Cole blocked the main road that Veronica and Jillian were driving down. That made Veronica and Jillian fork off onto the side road where their car was found abandoned, because they met up with Cray Cray Granny, Tiffany Adams, her boyfriend, Tad Cullum, and Paul Grice. So Paul Grice was supposedly at the scene, but hasn't been arrested. And the reason I think he hasn't been arrested is because maybe they haven't been able to track him with the burner phones the way that they did the other 2 couples. So there may be a little, I'm sure they're trying to get what they need to arrest him, but they may be having a little difficulty with it. Because right now, the only involvement they can see that he had with it is hearsay, because it came from Cora's daughter. So JLR did a live about Paul Grice. I told y'all the other day, rumor had it that Paul Grice, from the time the FBI raided in on the two couples and arrested all four of them. Paul Grice told his family, supposedly, take this with a grain of salt because we have not had this confirmed, but supposedly Paul Grice told his family he was going to the store and hasn't come back. That is a rumor. We cannot verify it yet, but it is out there. And unfortunately, in this case, a lot of the rumors have ended up being true. Now, why do I say unfortunately? Because that's going to make more people think that rumors on every case are probably true. And it's just not the facts. So let's go over. I haven't not watched this. He was live when I started my live. I seen what he was going over and I said, well, I kind of want to see this. So I'm going to watch it with you guys.
Yard. It's beautiful out here. The sun is starting to come out.
All right. He's at Aunt Mary's. Steph, will you drop his link?
And it's going to be a great hot sunny day in Florida, covering the case of Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly. Good morning, everyone. We want to talk a little bit about a possible fifth suspect in this case, right? We've been hearing this guy's name, Paul Grice. Been hearing a lot about him. He has been mentioned in the affidavit of probable cause in the arrests of Tiffany Adams, Tad Colam, Cole, and Cora Twombly. We've been hearing this guy's name. Is he or is he not involved with this case? And we're going to talk because it's a mystery, folks, and there's a lot of speculation and rumors going around regarding this guy right here, who seems to be a radical sovereign citizen, a guy that doesn't feel like laws apply to him. There's actually some...
They're all sovereign citizens. And imagine that, because Cole's dumbass has filed bankruptcy several times and has tons of loans. You ain't so sovereign after all, are you, bitch?
Legal documents circulating online that I'm going to share with you about this dude.
Considering you're depending on the government for your livelihood. You've got so many loans through the government.
Great.
But you think you don't answer to them? The fuck out of here.
Rancher, his actually name is Paul Jeremiah Grice. But I want to know, and I'm sure you guys want to know, that's why a lot of people are in this chat.
Yep,
is this guy involved or not? Maybe authority.
There's his prop cup, JLR Media. He'll hold it up there too almost the whole time.
He should just come out flat out and say, is he involved or not? Because CW, which is the daughter of Cora, she's mentioned in the affidavit of probable cause, and she name drops this guy as if this guy did something with the others. He name drops him as if this guy right here, Paul Grice, went up to Kansas, where Veronica lived prior to these murders, to try to do Veronica bodily harm back in February of 2024.
Yes.
You guys.
He has supposedly, according to CW, Cora's daughter, Paul Grice has been a part of this since February when they initially wanted to unalive Veronica. So he was a part of both attacks, supposedly.
Seen it. You guys seen it. That's why a lot of people are in the chat, because we want to know, is this guy involved or not? Is he hiding? Is he alive? Is he in witness protection?
Thank you,
Steph.
Steph.
Is he on the run? Is he dead? There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of certain people affiliated with this case that are...
I don't know business-wise, because I don't like do deep dives like that, but he is a part of God's Misfits, which is the organized religion / cult / I don't know what the fuck it is, the group that they had going on. Paul Grice is a part of that. So I do know that's how he's connected to the two couples.
Coming out speculating about this guy. I think it's a mystery. I can tell you that we've already previously done a report on this guy on JLR Investigates. We shared his Facebook profile. I can tell you, since we shared his Facebook profile, this was his Facebook profile as of a couple days ago. As soon as we came out with the report on him, his Facebook profile vanished. It's gone. It's no longer in existence.
Sorry,
Zuck.
I got to put
Some
something
people say when your
up.
Facebook account goes gone, you say it's been zucked, gone. Now that could probably be on his most likely on his own doing, or someone affiliated with him that has access to his account, or maybe even Facebook got rid of it. But I don't think Facebook just got rid of it because the other defendants still have their Facebook profiles up. You know, a lot of times with these cases where
bro, don't nobody need to see his kids and his wife. He has 3 kids and a wife. Don't nobody need to see that. Stop, JLR.
People get around.
People can go look up his name on their
arrested,
own.
Facebook on their own initiative takes out the account. The other ones still have their accounts, according to right before I went live. Let's see. Yeah, Facebook still has Mr. Cole. Facebook still has Cole's profile up.
Okay, that's just
Let's
Cole.
see if Cora's profile's
okay.
up. Yep, Facebook still has Cora. Cora's still up. So this guy here, this guy named Paul Jeremiah Grice, it seems like he has ties to Colorado and Oklahoma. It seems like he's a rancher that is part of this God's Misfits. God's Misfits. And when we talk about God's Misfits, we're talking about God's Misfits. We're talking about God's Misfits. These guys, these jokers, these ones that just went to court yesterday. Oh, by the way, speaking of this one right here, is this one the missing or the weakest link of the group? I say that, folks, because there's news reports out that claim that Cora Twombly has a public defender while the other three retain private counsel. Even the news has reported this.
How dare you get a public defender, bitch? You better pro-say that ass. How you gonna be a sovereign citizen and be using the taxpayers of Oklahoma's money to afford you a public fucking defender? Fuck you for that.
Even the news has reported this. Adams, Cullen, and Cole Twombly will hire their own attorneys.
Thank
Cora
y'all.
Twombly said she cannot afford an attorney, so the court will appoint one to represent her.
You want me to put George?
That is wild, folks, considering that Cora is married to Cole. So how can a married couple, Cora, Cole, how can a married couple charged with the same crime and him, gets his own lawyer while she doesn't?
Because she ain't got no money, because I bet everything's under his name. And he ain't got no money. He's got debt. He's in tons of debt. I don't know.
Make that make sense, people. Well,
but how fucking you better hit that law library, bitch. How dare you use the taxpayers' money to have a public defender for your sovereign citizen ass?
There could be some reasons for that. One, maybe he doesn't have a lawyer because there is some rumors out there saying that he tried to get a lawyer, but it's going to cost too much money. Therefore, he's going to get a public defender. Maybe he said at the time he has a lawyer, and then maybe over time he won't have a lawyer. But even the fact that he would say
He's
at first
so
he has his own
handsome,
lawyer,
ain't he?
and she doesn't, and they're married, makes me go, is one of them throwing each other under the bus? Is one of them throwing each other under the bus? We always said, and we did a poll in JLR Investigates when it comes to this case. We said, and the consensus on the poll was that she is she's the one that's most likely to flip out of the group. And when she went to court yesterday, her head was down. She took that walk of shame. And
yes, she did.
Looks like to me the weakest link. Well, it remains to be seen though. Public defender for her, private attorneys for these people. Now people are wondering how.
I just didn't want him showing. I didn't know he was going to show Paul's Facebook, and the Facebook picture is him with his wife and kids. I was just trying to cover it. Y'all don't, not y'all in the chat, but don't come for me about it.
World, could they get private attorneys on this case? Well, I can tell you folks, this woman here, it is rumored out there, has a lot of money. She has a lot of money. She lives on multiple acres of land and has multiple heads of cattle. And whether she inherited it or owns it or however, they're saying that she has a lot of money, in excess of $9 million. That's the rumor. And locals know these other people. And that's what they're throwing out there. That she has millions and millions of dollars. I call him her boyfriend. He also has a farm called Cullum Farms. This is
so I wonder why she
once worked.
So I wonder why she can't get a lawyer then. That's so weird.
Before he went to rehab. This is the one who I feel in this particular case is the trigger man. So they got multiple amounts of acres of land. Are they going to get their own attorneys, and how much would the attorney cost? Ali Oxenfree, JLR, I just sent you 69 messages. God bless you, Ali. Nice to see you. Thank you for being a member. Always good to hear your insight on JLR Investigates. A lot of you. I see a lot of members in the chat. So let's go back to Paul Grice. Let's go back to Paul Grice.
That's what we're here for.
Rumors and circulation over this guy. Is he involved or not? Have authorities talked to him or not? Is
George
he
isn't
or not?
long
now,
enough.
There's some people, I'm going to just show you examples. There's people in chats saying that Paul Grice is technically wanted. They're looking for him. They're trying to find him. They're trying to locate him. There's one particular, I'll just show an example. There's one here that I been following on this case because she's boots on the ground. She's from the area, I guess, or been to the area.
That's Carrie Moody. She has a Facebook group.
Her name is Carrie Moody True Crime. And Carrie Moody True Crime, who does some videos on this case, stated in Facebook that Paul has been on the run since he went to the store and never returned the day of the arrests. And I personally, myself, has received numerous emails from locals who have told me that Paul is in fact on the run. Others have said Paul is dead. They're saying, and this is wild, and I don't know if there's truth to this. They're claiming that Paul, in the course of whenever these two innocent souls were ambushed, and we're talking about Veronica and Jillian, the rumor has it is they fought back at first, possibly with a gun. And there's some rumors that Paul was shot. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just throwing out what people are saying. Authorities ain't saying nothing, so I think we're obligated to say something, because we don't.
Well, no, we're not obligated. See, that's where we disconnect here, JLR. We're not obligated to say anything. If we don't know, we don't know. That is called starting rumors. And it's just, it has not been verified. So anybody listening to this, we're listening to this for the first time. I don't know what JLR says. Please take it with a grain of salt and realize and understand that these are, in fact, rumors for the moment.
Don't know what happened. We don't know who's involved. And authorities at the same time are saying the community's safe because the people responsible are off the streets. Remember that at the press conference. So it makes me wonder about Paul. Is he still alive? Or other people speculate that he's in witness protection, like authorities got to him and are using Paul against.
And see, that's possible. So it's, again, another rumor, gossip, but both are possible. Both are possible. We just don't know.
The others, because he was name dropped in the court documents, folks. So we don't know the extent of this, folks.
And if he was in witness protection or, witness for the state or something, it would make sense for me in my mind because of the fact that he was mentioned in the probable cause affidavit. Because you ain't going to just mention them in there and just, leave them out? Leave them be? For everybody else, Veronica's dad, Veronica's family, Jillian's family, you just going to leave them out there for them to get? If they, I'm just saying, Grice does things to you.
But what we do know is his name was brought up. And I think authorities have an obligation to put the community at ease. Is this guy involved or not? Is he involved or not? Now, at the same time, people are claiming he's on the run. He's in witness protection plan. He's dead. He's shot. Whatever. There's another person that I found in the Facebook groups that claims he knows Paul and his family. And this individual says, right here, we're going to read this comment right here. It's coming from a Jared Stewart. And Mr. Stewart says, folks, he says, Paul's father-in-law drives a truck for me. Paul is not in the hospital, not on the run, and not under arrest. I saw him and talked to him today. I don't know anything beyond that. So this is a local, apparently, that Paul's father-in-law drives a truck for. And he's saying Paul is not in the hospital, he's not on the run, and he's not under arrest. So someone responded to him, well, what about CW? What about CW saying in the court documents that Paul is involved? Paul is part of these God's misfits. And this person responded, the same individual, Jared Stewart. If you read the court doc, that is what Cora's daughter overheard her mom say. But apparently the OSBI and FBI didn't find anything to substantiate that he was involved.
Which is what I just said at the beginning of this. Is that the reason he hasn't been arrested? Is it because it's just hearsay and they have nothing to solidify his guilt? It's very possible. I do want to correct what he just said because Cora, he said that Cora's daughter told police of a conversation she overheard her parents having, or her mom and stepdad having. And that is true. She did overhear some things, but she also was told some things directly by Cora. And I'd have to go back through the affidavit. Don't quote me on this. Don't take me to church on it. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it said that Cora's daughter, that Cora told her daughter that Grice was there. Not hearsay, not her hearing her mom talking to somebody else. If I'm not mistaken, the affidavit says that Cora told her that personally.
I really don't know anything other than he is around. All I have ever seen him do is work hard. And that's what he was doing when I saw him yesterday. So this was a post that was posted in a Facebook group yesterday. So we're talking 2 days ago. According to this guy, Jared Stewart, he had eyes on Paul Grice. He had eyes on Paul Grice. So is Paul Grice, is this the truth? Saw and spoke to both Paul and his father-in-law, coming from this Jared Stewart guy. So,
all right, so we're just going to leave it at that. We don't know. We don't know what's up with Paul Grice. It could be anything. He could just be living his life and I mean, could have absolutely nothing to do with it. He could have something to do with it, but they can't prove it. He could be a witness for him. He could be on the run. We just don't know. We don't know, period. Yeah, he was supposedly involved back in February. Yep. But we can't verify. We don't know for sure, you know? So we'll just leave it at that. But I will keep an eye on Paul Grice. I've been following his YouTube. I mean, not his YouTube, his Facebook. All right, guys. So that is the end of our stream. We are going to wrap it up. I thank y'all for being here. Again, happy birthday, Steph. And I hope you guys have a great Thursday. And we only got to get through today. We got one more day till Friday. Yay! The weekend cannot come soon enough, honey. All right, guys. I will catch y'all on the flip side. Thanks for being here. Thanks for loving me. And thanks for supporting me. Bye.